Welcome to the Nick and Matt Show. Bringing the player interviews you want to hear and the hot topics you want to discuss. Streaming live on the Foundation Podcast YouTube channel, here's Nick and Matt.
All right, everybody. Without further ado, let's go ahead and bring in Paul McBeth, everybody. Recent DDO champion 2021. Paul, congrats on your win. What a significant win. Second NT of the year. Your first Elite Series win. Congratulations. So,
thank you.
You've made it known this season you've been struggling with putts, but you start out that final round. You hit that 60-footer for birdie. Also, in a previous round, the death putt towards the island green, hole 16. And in the post-round interview, you said it feels like a different game when you're putting well. So can I ask, are your putting struggles gone? And how did those putts feel during the rounds?
Putts felt great during the round. I mean, I really hope so. I'm going to continue working on my putt, continue to just make the comfort level, further away from the basket, and just continue to just push it as far back as I can. But at the DDO, I just felt like every putt I stepped up to, I had a chance of making it, and I felt like I was going to make it. But yeah, that was a big struggle for me early in the year, and just trying to figure out, find what was most comfortable, find what was consistent. And I was going through a lot of things, tweaking a lot of things, because with my injury and doing all the rehab over the winter, it was kind of just my body's working now. Everything's working in, like, it's functioning the way it should. Now I need to find what's comfortable instead of what was working at the time last year and the year before. So yeah, it feels good, and hopefully it's here to stay.
So DDO this year was a PDGA national tour. National tours this year have kind of switched over into, they got live coverage now. They seem to be acting like bigger events like they should be. How does this compare to a PDGA national tour win versus a Disc Golf Pro Tour win? What are kind of like the similarities between the two events?
I think now the national tours are the media side's run by the Disc Golf Pro Tour. So they tend to have a similar feeling right now. And with the DDO formerly being the Glass Blown Open, it's kind of one that you knew was always going to be a big event. So this one has, it has that feeling of being like a pro tour, or like almost like a major with how many people are there. So it's there is some difference. Like the Texas States wasn't, like, I don't feel like the media side was as big. It wasn't as blown up as some of the pro tour events or the DDO or our majors. So that side has lacked in some national tours, but the Dynamic Disc Open was definitely one of the top ones, and felt like that. And you can tell with the competition as well that everyone was there to play.
Yeah, thanks for that insight so far. So can you settle this debate real quick? Some have said this is the latest in the season that you've won an Elite Series, and I'm assuming that conversation is around the national tours and the Disc Golf Pro Tour Elite. Is that accurate?
Well, I don't know off the top of my head, because usually there's some smaller events to start the year, such as like the Wintertime Open. I've won that one quite a bit to start the year. This one, I won the I won the All-Star event. I won the Memorial, which typically is either a Pro Tour or NT, but it wasn't on that list this year. So I guess you could say so, but I do have one PDJ win at least.
Right.
With the Memorial. But yeah, as far as NT or Pro Tour, yeah, I guess it's the latest one of the year.
Right. So as part of that, we're recognizing, and I heard you say this in an interview previously, maybe it was the press conference, you said the competition is getting better. So can I ask, are the days of a professional and you winning the majority of events that you play, are those over? Are those gone?
I don't think so. I mean, you saw what Ricky did like the last 6 weeks. He won 3 out of 6 or 4 out of 6 events that he played in. And I feel like I was right there at some of those. And, what I've said with my struggles is my putting. And this week at the Dynamic Disc Open, like, I felt like it was on, and I didn't feel like anyone was going to catch me, the entire round. Even though Calvin did have the lead at some points, like, I didn't feel like there was a moment where I was going to lose that event. I felt like if I had this confidence, I could put the disc out of position, but still, convert a birdie. So I just had to keep that mindset and keep that going. But I think I could do it again. I think I could rattle off a 4-year streak and stuff like that if if I keep everything going, if I keep everything in tune, keep everything aligned, and just kind of, keep the work ethic, I feel like it's definitely possible.
I would love that feeling of being able to go to an event, put yourself out of position, and still know you're going to get up and down for a birdie. But Jones Gold was a new course added to the Pro Tour, or excuse me, the National Tour event this year, the DDO. The top performers were scoring very well. The first 2 days, you can kind of see how the course was designed to be played in the wind. It wasn't a super challenging course from a spectator view when there wasn't any wind. Can you kind of elaborate on, did you like the change of adding another course into it, and how did the course compare to other pro level courses that we have on the scene?
Yeah, with the gold course, I feel like it was kind of added because Worlds will be there next year. And typically for Worlds, you need at least 2 courses with the format that it's at now. So I think this was kind of the course to where they're like, all right, we think this will be the one for Worlds. And I think that was it was kind of proven that that one won't be a good fit for Worlds. I just don't think, excuse me, I don't think the trees are big enough there. I think a lot of the players were throwing over it. I don't think the length of the course was long enough. I think there was too many par fours that were sub 800 feet or 700 feet, and with that style property that they have there, it's it's hard to hold these players or with with that kind of short distance. There's not a lot of trees to navigate or go around, so the distance was just kind of short. But I think, out there in Emporia, they have 95 courses, it feels like. So I'm sure they have another piece of property that they can design a gold level course for Worlds. But yeah, it was a little bit on the easy side, and you can tell the course was designed for the weather elements that they have there. But when it's kind of low, it's very scoreable.
So in your post-round interview after your win, in the media industry, we call it SOT, sound on tape. You gave really good sound on tape there that has been circulating in memes and quotes and things that could be considered clickbait, depending on what you're about to say right now. You said you're not there for the friendships. Now, did I take that out of context? I'll let you elaborate on that more. What does that mean to you? Was that something you had been thinking about leading up to this tournament, or was that spur of the moment?
That was definitely my mindset going into the final round. And yeah, they pulled it for clickbait, of course, but I'm glad I said something that's clickbait worthy. So it was more my mental state and where I needed to be mentally going into that final round, because the big thing is where disc golf is we are all friends. A lot of us are friends on and off the course, and we've been, I think right now we're in the YouTube era to where a lot of people are filming videos with each other and just kind of doing a lot of media and things together to where we're close. And the COVID era, I guess I should say, is kind of like, it's just been all of us hanging out. There's no fans, there's nothing going on, so we're all just kind of friendly with each other, and it just kind of gets casual. And I think that was the biggest thing, was a lot of these final rounds were feeling casual to me, to where I wasn't getting into the right mental state, the right focus that I needed if I wanted to go out there and win. And I was starting to notice that now, especially once we had fans, I wasn't able to click back into that zone I feel like I'd get into with fans. So yeah, before the start, I just told myself like you're out here to play, you're out here to win. That's why you're coming out to these tournaments. Yeah, you're with Calvin, you're with Eagle, you're with Rick, and I've filmed videos with them, for YouTube and content and other things like that. So I needed to just be like, this is the tournament, this is where I need to focus, this is where I need to put all my energy, and it doesn't matter who's on my card. I need to just go out there and play and stay focused and be aggressive and take this tournament. Because it is easy to just like root for your friends and stuff like that, but I just needed to change that mindset, and what happens on the course when we're playing has nothing to do with my friendship with Calvin outside of the course, with Eagle or Rick or anyone else in the field, but I just need to tell myself that that's why I'm there.
So did you use the word friendship then to mean more the casual sense as opposed to actually being friends with people? You just used the word casual. Maybe you were too casual about your rounds. Is that correct? Would you change the way you said that to explain better, or are you happy with the way you said that?
No, I'm fine with how I said it. I think they just pulled out what my mentality was, going into it. Like my mentality going into that final round is what I said before that quote. And when you pull that side out of it, it just looks like I'm attacking people. But I'm really just saying my mentality for that was I'm not here for the friends. Like I'm here to come out and compete and win this tournament. Like that's why I'm here. I didn't go to Dynamic Disc Open to go see my friends. Like I went out there to play the tournament and win. And it's a bonus that a lot of our friends are there, and we're all there with each other. But that's not why I went to that tournament.
Yeah, totally. Thanks for that answer.
Yeah, I think it's kind of crazy that so many people took it kind of the wrong way. But in a sense, you have to have that mentality going into where this is your job, this is your living, this is your future and everything like that. I was watching The Last Dance with Michael Jordan, and he said one of the things, he was like, look, if you don't want to play the way that I play, then don't. And he was kind of saying like, he's not there to make friends with people. He's not there to be buddy after the NBA career is over. He's there to win championships and to win games and be known as one of the greatest players of all time. So I think it's just kind of crazy. I was watching on Twitter and everything like that, just people overreacting about you not saying you're there for the friendships or whatever. I think people mistook it how it was said. But
yeah, I believe that when you take out my mentality part, where I'm talking literally about myself and my mental state of this tournament, it worked for their clickbait and got people going and talking. So as long as it's got more eyes, I don't care.
Yeah, I was going to say it's the media doing somewhat of a good job in that sense. Yeah. But enough of that. Kind of going on to the Paul McBeth Foundation. You announced that the first course installation is actually happening. Can you talk about the partners, what is your actual involvement in the course designing process and everything like that?
Yeah, so it is coming up soon. I think 2 weeks we'll be headed to Mexico, La Paz, Mexico. We are installing 9 holes into I don't know the details, but I know it's like a ranch or a club. Don't quote me. I just know where I'm going, and I'll be there to help install, design, and teach disc golf. So yeah, that's coming up soon, and I'm excited because it's the first one. We'll be able to knock it off the list and be like, we finally did this. We started, and we are about to keep going. We're about to, work on more projects. I wish I could talk about more projects that are in the works, but yeah, this is the first one. I'm so excited to get it done and go down there and, get the ball rolling on this. But yeah, we got a strong team with the foundation, and we'll have a lot of people going down there. And for this first one, Dynamic Disc is the partner for it with the basket donation and the discs, and even sending some of their employees to come down and help
nice.
With the installation. Yeah.
Very cool. Shout out to Dynamic for that.
All right. So are you going to be able to get in around? Is the course going to actually be put in the ground when you show up, Paul, or is it all a process and you're going to be down there helping get it in the ground?
Yeah, I'm gonna be there from beginning to end. I'll be down there for about a week, and there is no design, no course, no nothing. So we are literally designing it, installing it, and the baskets will be in by the time we leave. But it will be more of an introductory level course. Yeah, I think just getting something down there and then seeing how we can help with the growth of disc golf down there, and see, maybe they'll want more courses. And we do have another 9 set of baskets. I know that if it does work out well, that we'll go down there and redesign. And I haven't seen the property in person. I've just seen drone footage, but it looks like a really awesome piece of property with water, mountains, trees, all that fun stuff that you want for a disc golf course.
So let me ask this. With this big win at this NT, I'm calling it a big win. Me talking about disc golf so often, I've said this, I've been saying it for a while. I said Jonesboro, but I feel like this one, I said, if you win this, all of your good finishes in the first portion of this season are exactly that, good finishes. You now have a win. Does this take any pressure off of you, or do you feel like this has hyped you up? What does it do to your psyche going into the rest of the season?
Well, I only had one finish that was outside the top 5 this year. All my finishes have been inside the top 5, and that's with, me not putting well. So I think that's just been the thing that's been missing, and not getting me more wins, or a win earlier in the season. So to feel like I have confidence in that and feel like it's, better than ever, to be honest. Like I don't think I've ever felt that confident from 60 feet, 45, 50 maybe, but to feel like I'm going to put it in from 60 or further every time I step up, It's an incredible feeling right now. So, yeah, I mean, I think the season's been good so far. I just haven't closed out the tournaments like I have previously, but I think there's been the one big factor, and yeah, I mean, one finish outside the top five is pretty good. I don't think there's many players that can say that.
Yeah, and what a time to finally get all that confidence going in, because you're about to hit the West Coast swing. You got a lot of tournaments going out there, and then in just a little bit over a month, we've got Worlds coming up out in Ogden, Utah. The World Championships happening, I think, from the 22nd through the 26th. And I know a lot of players are going to be headed there earlier, getting rounds in. There's two different courses, the Fort, and I think it's called Mulligan Golf Center or something like that.
Yep.
Have you played there previously?
I've played the Mulligan's course. That's a shorter course. I don't know what it's going to be like for Worlds. I've played it for the Utah Open. Very scoreable course. And then I've never played the Fort, but I've heard it wasn't good. Now it's great. So I'm looking forward to playing it as it's great, because I haven't seen it before. But I heard it's a good compliment to the Mulligan's course and a very challenging track.
Yeah. Well, obviously, Paul, we wish you all the best of luck. Thank you for coming on the show today. Thank you for actually being in studio. If no one could notice, we've been flipping around cameras because Paul is about 6 feet in front of me, keeping that social distancing alive. But no, we appreciate you coming in. Good luck to the rest of your season, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you. Appreciate it, guys.